Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And Grandstream's GCC series of appliances just keeps getting better and better and better. And Grandstream does allow us to publicly share the beta and do videos on it. So we're going to do that right now. And this is the release notes for the latest beta. Now, if you're running this like in your house, or if you've got a policy at work where you can run beta and you want to try it out, go ahead. I've been running it. I haven't had any problems. And that's why I decided I wanted to go ahead and do this video on it. There's been some other videos out there. It was released April 21st. Some of the changes that they've done is they've added a feedback, remote management, the GWN app on the home page. They've added real-time session statistics, firewall service, and PBX information in the overview screen. They added a VLAN configuration when enabling the PBX module, so you don't have to have your PBX on the main network now. Your PBX can be moved to a different VLAN, which is fantastic. We've been asking for that since the first release of this, and they implemented it. So Grandstream is listening to customer feedback. Looks like they added or fixed some time zone issues, added, you can have multiple NTP servers. You can now have local multi-factor authentication, and this does not require you to be bound to the GDMS cloud. This MFA is running locally on the device. So if you're accessing it internally, or if you've got some VPNs and you're accessing it through the web interface through like a VPN or whatever, you can enforce multi-factor on your accounts. They added allowed IP addresses in the web access so that you can get to that through the different ports, so you can get to the web UI. Looks like they added reference details from which user can check to where the schedule is applied. So if you've got scheduling where you're turning off services or Wi-Fi, you can go in and check that. Let's see here. They added core file retrieval under login diagnostics. They added bridge mode. This is something that I'm seeing more and more that people are doing, is they've got their ISP and then they're putting their router in bridge mode. And I'm sure it's useful for some people. I guess we're going to have to play with that and see, because, you know, with other brands of firewalls, we kind of put it in bridge mode kind of in a transparent way, and we're able to use the security services. So I've got to check this out still and see if that's what that is. They optimized the tracking IP feature, optimized static IP bindings. Now, one thing they did with the VPN is they're bringing the router firmware with a few of these changes up to parity with the GWN series of routers. So we now have the setup wizard for all of the different VPNs to make it very easy and very quick for you to configure the VPNs. We'll take a look at that in a second. Optimized, yep, this is where they added the configuration guide and link for all of these things. They added support of domains for the endpoint address on WireGuard. They added a site-to-site connection status for IPsec. I mean, they just keep continually improving the UI and the information and making this device much easier, much friendlier to use. Now, they did add a routing table page, but check it out. So they now have added OSPF, RIP, and BGP. So they've added the dynamic routing protocols. And I'll show you the difference on this and how some other manufacturers may set this up for you. You don't have to upload a config file. You can actually do everything right from the UI, and we'll take a look at that. They've added some things for IP source and update for dynamic DNS. I wish that we had more choices for dynamic DNS. Hopefully they'll start populating more services to that, or give us an option to do a custom one. They added a clone feature for the port forwarding rules. I know people were very excited about that. They added, let's see here, They moved ping and trace to maintenance and network tools. So they're cleaning up the UI. What else did they do? They added email settings, moved radius. So they're moving things around. They added profiles. So they added support of MAC groups, IP address groups, fully qualified domain name, radius, and certificates under profiles. I know some people were asking for that. Once again, Grandstream took that feedback and they added it. And so they just keep adding features and making this much more friendly. Like I said, I'm very impressed with how they're taking the customer feedback and they are implementing that. Under firewall policies, you can now do schedule for traffic rules. You have clone button for traffic rules and advanced NAT rules. Added signature updates to manage all related firewall modules signature libraries. We'll take a look at that. Under content control, they added DNS filtering under DNS filtering. Let's see where that's at. That's right here. So you can actually select categories here. They optimized the application filtering rules and application list UI, and they added network protocol and unknown application categories. This is fantastic. So you can now customize your block page, and I'll show you that. I think that's fantastic, especially if you're in a corporate environment and you have branding rules, or you need to put a message out there to tell people like, hey, you've reached this, it's blocked. You can put some information on there, who you contact to get this unblocked. Under the security logs, they've added details for denial of service and spoofing and application filtering. Added support of export all logs. Added DNS filtering risk level settings to log level and email notification. Under the network nodes, added support of VLAN ID configuration to Wi-Fi management and the pre-shared key. Added support of captive portal to wired clients. So you can now make wired clients go through a captive portal, not just Wi-Fi clients. They've added a bypass splash page to captive portal policy. Fixed a bunch of bugs here. So there are some manufacturers that still don't support a /31 subnet mask. They fixed it so it does work. So there must have been something in a firmware, maybe some regression or something like that. And they fixed a bug that caused intermittent disconnections with IPsec VPN, which I was very glad to see. So let's hop over to my GCC here and take a look. So right here on the front page, here's those real-time session statistics. Here's that firewall service that they were talking about here. If we go over to the router side of this and we go to routing, you can now see we've got BGP, RIP, and OSPF. Here's the thing about the BGP on this device is you turn it on and you get to configure everything here. There's no uploading a configuration file. The UI has absolutely everything you need to get BGP up and going. And if you have a configuration sheet from your ISP, or if you have a standard way, if you're running BGP internally, you can just do it. No guessing your way through a configuration file, which is absolutely fantastic. And then here's your routing table, which is absolutely needed, right? We shouldn't have to SSH in to see that kind of stuff. Now, under the VPN, here's that setup wizard. So we can click on any of these. For example, if I want to do WireGuard, look at this. It's going to walk me through step by step. It's a wizard. So you can add instances and things like that. We go back to the setup wizard. We can use this for IPsec. Here it's, you can do site to site. You can do client to site. Open VPN, same thing. And then if for some reason you're still using PPTP or just L2TP without IPsec, you can run those wizards. And they do warn you that a traditional VPN is canceling support for many different operating systems. So a lot of OSs have removed just L2TP and PPTP. Some of them have even removed IPsec. If we go over to the firewall, this is where we're going to be able to get this signature update page that's going to show us all of the updates. We can change our schedule on this. We can hit update now. Here is the blocked web page that you can edit. So this is the blocked, access blocked. This is the virus detected. So if we click this little edit button here, we can come in here, and they're calling these widgets, and they've got these predefined. So page title, background. We can't edit. It looks like we can edit the background. So if I click on that, I get an option to upload an image, but it needs to be less than one meg. Or we can just change the background color. So I just changed that to red. I'm going to change it back to white for now. Here we can put company logo. This little icon, I don't know if that's the background. I'm not sure. I haven't fully customized this yet, but here we can change then down here it gives us the URL and the reason. And if you have the URL blocked, it'll probably give a reason of what category it is and that it's blocked. I haven't had a chance to play with that just yet. Down here we can edit this widget, and you can also take these widgets off of the screen completely, so you could just have this blank kind of thing that tells you the URL and the details there. You can also hit restore default template, and it will do that. So I'm really glad that they added this. So many things coming. I can't give you too many details about some of the new hardware that's coming, but I can tell you that if you've been holding off on this GCC series because you want to see something that's much larger or much more capable of handling more throughput, keep your eyes peeled this year, because I think you're going to be very surprised with what Grandstream is going to release. If you've got any questions about this firmware, any of the updates, I haven't really encountered any problems yet. I'm going to be doing some more testing with that IPsec site-to-site issue that they corrected. So I'll do a follow-up video once I've done access blocked, because I'm getting ready to do my content filtering video using this device. That'll be the third one in our series for content filtering. So you'll get to see this access page, the blocked access page live, and what it looks like to the end user. But if you've got any questions about this firmware, if you've got any questions about the device, you can ask them down below, or you can email us. You can hop on the community. But I don't know about you, but I'm super excited in the direction that Grandstream is heading with these devices. And for the price of these right now, you can pick up a GCC 6010. I just saw it for $149. You can get a lifetime subscription for the updates for $349, or you can pay, I think, $79 a year or $99 a year. This device is going to provide you with a lot of assurances that you're going to need for cyber liability insurance. I want to see them add native MFA for the VPNs. We do have a way to do MFA for the VPNs right now that uses another service, but I'd like to see that come to the device. I would even pay like a one-time activation fee for that MFA. Give me 20 users for, $150 or whatever, a one-time fee for that. I would totally pay for that to keep everything in one box and not have to have an ongoing per user charge. Let me know what you think about that. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, head on over to williehowe.com. Fill out the contact form that's on the front page. Whether it's security, wired or wireless networking, storage, voice over IP, head on over there, fill that form out, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. Come on over to community.willyhow.com and talk about your experience with this router. And let me know down in the comments if you're running this and how happy you've been. And just let us know. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.